Hi guys, Alex here. Welcome back to Girl Talk. I've got a little bit of mess and a little bit of drama today for you guys. First, we're going to go ahead and do a Chantopolis world update. I've got a timeline for you guys. We'll talk about the TikTok mess, as well as the live stream that she did here on YouTube, as well as some community tabs. It seems as though the break that she was supposed to be having is not coming to fruition. We'll talk all about it. And then later in the video, I wanted to talk about ALR's new vlog, but instead of doing more of a rundown, I think I'm going to go off the cuff and just talk about the problems that are going on at this time. And just talk about my feelings regarding her recent vlogs, just in general. It's not looking too good. All that and more coming up on today's edition of Girl Talk. Let's just get right into it. I mean, shall we? Okay, for our first segment, we are going to go ahead and do our Chantopolis world update. A lot of nonsense went on between our last meeting of the minds. Yesterday, we talked about how Chantal has moved on to greener pastures over on TikTok, hoping that she can move on from the drama of her past. And by past, mind you, we mean February 2023. It would be one thing. I honestly believe people can change. I do. I'm big on recovery. That's such an important part of the process. But what Chantal fails to realize is that change does not happen overnight. And it's clear by the constant community tabs, the attempts at rewriting history, that she has not changed in the slightest. In fact, I would go as far as to say that is what makes her the most interesting to watch. And you can even make this point about Amberlynn, but I think Amber has matured a bit, especially in recent years, as we all as the audience are growing, learning from our mistakes, becoming more mature as viewers. She continues to remain the same stagnant beauty. And I was watching Milky Chai, whose TikToks have gone viral in the community, and they make a good point. While Chantal was in Canada, she made no efforts to practice her faith. I say that because this is the only tangible change that we have seen from Chantal. Also, it seems as though her marriage has only made her worse. She sees herself as better than others because she has got herself a man now, y'all. We see that when she talks about FFG, claiming that her husband is fake. Anybody who's single, she will throw that in her face because she sees that as a one-up over people. She's taken, she's desirable, she's prettier than 90% of this website. She has said all of these things. Although many still have doubts about Salah's fidelity. What is it that he is doing while she is in the apartment all day? What does this business entail? I'm genuinely curious as to how he is actually making money. And before you say Chantal is paying for everything, what about before she came around? Anyways, Chantal's short-lived break from YT is over. She had said that she was quitting, but she didn't even take a day off. Is that really her impulsiveness? Or is she trying to create storylines and tabloid headlines for reaction channels? She has done this little act so many times where she quits, but never does she even take a short break. I remember the last time she quit and she was on a live stream before the sun went down. I think that this woman, she really likes the attention that she receives, negative or positive. It's all attention to her, and attention is a type of currency. And I think if her channel was still successful, she wouldn't be as upset as she is these days. She's jealous of FFG's views and doesn't understand why people would watch someone talking about her videos instead of her actual videos. Let's go ahead and get into the drama surrounding her latest 7-part TikTok series addressing the animal allegations that people have now started reporting on TikTok. So to begin the series of TikToks, her first thing to do was to say that this situation was, quote, false outrage, and shifts all of the attention over to FFG. And for me, FFG has nothing to do with this. Yes, she's a part of the cat story, but when it comes to you letting the claws grow into the paws, it's just deflection. Well, look over here at all the things that this woman is saying. It's not really that relevant to that particular allegation. Now, Chantal wants to say that she FaceTimed with Pete and he showed her the paws and they didn't look that bad. And then she brings up the fact that she had an appointment and FFG's sister-in-law said that they would take her. But girl, I mean, there was a whole 3 weeks between when she landed in Canada and when she left to Kuwait and the cat situation. There was a whole 3 weeks in between that. And you said yourself that you would take them as soon as you got home. People were even willing to give Pete's money for a mobile vet, but for some reason they refused all help. The truth is that this cat's suffering was not that important to you. You had other priorities, your husband, going out to eat, getting schmedibles. All of these things to you were more important than your cat. You neglected your duty as a pet owner, so stop the lies and stop trying to write yourself as the victim in this narrative because nobody's buying it. She really just used this whole series of TikToks to kind of shift attention onto FFG and that whole situation with the cat. She felt bamboozled. But what does that really have to do with her letting the claws grow into the pads? Not to mention the fact that she told on herself with that picture of Sam that she posted last week. They had to shave him, probably because there was no way that they were going to get all the knots out of Sam because she wasn't having him groomed either. At this point, it would serve her best to just say, like, I messed up, because this TikTok series is not it. So let's go ahead and do a TikTok update. Chantal has been posting quite a bit over on the TikTok. So if you don't follow her over there, I've got the goods for y'all. But she's been posting a lot of hamster deflection. Whenever she would get in any kind of trouble over on YouTube, she would always post like a picture of the cats. Like, look at these cats. I mean, who can say that they weren't cute? Because they were. Anyways, she has this hamster and she put the hamster in the air fryer. This seemed a little bit tone deaf because of the animal abuse allegations that she is continuing to fight. And then she also posted, this one was kind of interesting. You know, a Muslim man can have up to 4 wives, right? And she was giving like the side eye, like that's not going to happen. Salah is hers and hers only. She's not going to go for the 4 wives situation type deal. So no Sister Wives Foodie edition anytime soon, although maybe if she needs more views. So Chantal also did this live stream called Going to Get Treats for Harry Much Booze. We get to see her and Salah going on one of their little adventures. I guess Salah took her out of the apartment today. Maybe that'll calm her down a little bit. I did notice that when it comes to the drama, Salah has quite a bit to say now. Roll it.
Insane, really insane. Wallah, like seriously.
Just touch grass, do something in your life, come on.
Yeah.
It's YOLO, you only live once. Just focus in your life, do something in your life.
And that's what we're gonna do.
So what do you guys think? Are you all completely miserable? I know I'm living out my entertainment reporter dreams here. So we're all good. Honestly, these two should consider themselves lucky because without the drama, nobody would watch. And that's just the truth. There has been a lot of talk about the hamster cage that Harry is in. People are saying that it is too small. I've seen a lot of people say that, and they have said that a lot of these cages that the pet stores sell for these small hamsters are just not big enough. Now, I haven't had a hamster in like 20 years. I remember my sister had one growing up. I didn't even have my own. So I'm not too familiar with the care of hamsters, but I definitely believe that the cage is too small. I see people saying like him biting on the walls of the cage is a sign that it is too small. And Chantal is going to have to purchase a bigger cage on Amazon because they just don't sell those cages. I find that to be rather like worrisome that they don't sell cages big enough for these animals and yet they sell those animals. I guess that's another problem. Anyways, let's hope that they can find a bigger cage for Harry. But if she doesn't, she'll probably just call that false outrage and something to pick apart. In other news, Chantal went on and on her community tab about how TikTok, it's stricter over there, so she is able to get people taken down. She must feel so powerful because they're listening to her reports. I do think that TikTok has a huge issue when it comes to mass flagging. Like, it almost seems as though they don't have actual real life people looking into these issues. It's just all the algorithm. So if they get enough reports, and Foodie has even seen that for herself, like part 2 of her TikTok video was removed by quote false flagging, she says. So she herself knows that this is an issue, and yet she's going to use it to get other people taken down. And she also posted about how she got another person's video removed for bullying her. And she says that people are bringing the YouTube toxicity over to TikTok. She's the common denominator in this situation though, huh? And she also changed her banner to include her TikTok. And it seems like she has a new kind of like rebranding again. She rebrands like once a week these days, but that's the least of her worries. And she basically says that she's not going to do what she said she was going to do. Shocker, shocker. Okay, so I know you have seen me change my banner so many times. It's because I can't figure out what the heck I am on social media. I don't have a niche. I'm just me. I mukbang, share my life, go live, talk about everything and anything. And well, I decided to change my banner again because you guys remember on Sunday, we talked about how she was only going to do mukbang content. She wasn't going to live stream. Well, she live streamed today, and now she's saying that she's just going to do basically the exact same thing she's been doing for the past few years. She always does this where she tries to like find a particular niche, I guess, with the mukbangs. I mean, that really stuck, the whole mukbang situation, but then she would kind of try to do the whole weight loss, and she would change her banner again to reflect weight loss, but she always goes back to just doing whatever she wants to do, right? She's going to do the videos that take the least effort and get the most views. That's the route that she wants to take, and that's fine. I don't feel like I am only food, so my previous banner didn't make much sense. Doing only food is kind of boring to me. So again, she's changed her mind again. It wasn't a lie that she was only going to do mukbangs. She changed her mind yet again. I just like turning on the camera and doing and saying whatever. Well, a more subdued version now for sure. I would argue that, yeah, maybe it's a little bit more subdued, but not that much. I mean, she's just dressing more modestly than she did in the past. Maybe she'll hold back like a little bit, but you guys know. So after all of this mess, she posted another food content video, kind of like feeder content. The direction that she's taking these food videos is honestly super boring. Take a look at this clip.
Mountain Dew. So hot, I know.
Ooh, the temperature.
So I would honestly prefer if she just put the food like she used to. She put the food like close to the camera, and then she ate and she told like stories. It doesn't have to be this kind of non-modest story, right? She could always go back to like her creepypastas or, you know, just telling an interesting story about her life. I mean, they were all fake anyway, so just make up another one. I just personally found those videos to be more entertaining versus this video where the focus is on the food and she's trying to be like some sort of food reviewer. She just doesn't really have the chops for that. Oh, and did I mention that she got bit by a feral cat?
What kind of cat is this? Like a calico? There's just like random cats everywhere here. Hello. I miss petting cat. Ow, it bit me.
I miss petting cat. Ow, it bit me. Cat, ow.
Don't bite me. I'm gonna get... It probably doesn't have a rabies shot.
So I even heard some people say that like the sign behind her is telling you like not to interact with these cats. But of course I can't read it, so I don't know if that's true. But it definitely says something about animals. And here we go. Like, what is she gonna do? I wouldn't pet like city cats that are just kind of hanging out. Unfortunately, they're so cute and it's sad, but you just really don't know. Okay, so this is happening right now. We have some breaking news. Foodie actually went live and the live stream was titled, "Well, now I know the truth about Missy Moo." She comes on talking about Harry and then gets into the drama. She didn't want to have to address this, but here we are. She makes a joke about Salah messaging her from the quote, other apartment. When she found out that Missy Moo super chatted FFG, she didn't even believe it. She is fake for that, she says. Missy was a complete 100% supporter and kind of a friend to Chantal. And then she went and sent money to Chantal's biggest enemy because Missy couldn't support animal. She's fake. You have to support everything that Chantal does or else. She didn't know the whole story. Chantal says that it's still false outrage, the situation with BBJ. She mocks Missy for not supporting animal neglect. How could she? Chantal says that she never fully trusted her. It took a while for her to actually believe the betrayal. And now Chantal wouldn't be surprised if she comes on and spills all the tea because they had DMs. And speaking of DMs, Chantal said that she will never be vulnerable in DMs with anybody. She says Missy is definitely an unstable person. Takes one to know one, huh?
Well, you know, and I don't want to hate on anybody, and you know, me and Mr. Moo, we just find our business with Flenderman and our reborn dolls, and you know, her claws were growing into the pads, and yeah, and I explained that. So your first reaction is to go and give what's her face money. Nice. Like, It's ridiculous.
She talked in circles, calling Missy fake, fake, fake. She says FFG will now go befriend Missy like she did with Shannon, but FFG already said that she is not taking Missy's crap, so I don't see that happening, although Foodie says there is nothing for her to expose anyway. So what is the point? She blasts Milk Tea for saying that she is not married. Chantal claims that she doesn't trust anyone who is too nice, speaking about Missy Moo, but Missy has been pretty vicious to people other than Chantal, so maybe I just don't see it. She makes fun of Missy playing with dolls. She has this collection of reborn dolls. She doesn't understand why people don't like her. I don't think she realizes that a lot of people just find her drama funny, fun. She comes for the people creating, quote, false outrage on TikTok, specifically Milky Chai. She aims her vitriol right at her, and we should get over her treatment of BBJ. She says that Milky Chai is trying to say that she isn't allowed on TikTok, and she blasts her by making fun of her hair. Of course, Chantal likes to go with surface level, pointless insults. Oh well, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. I only made it halfway through the live stream, but like I said, this is happening right now, so I will keep you guys with updates. If anything more develops, she was speaking in circles for a lot of the beginning of the live stream. Anyway, I don't think she has much more to say than that. But yeah, she turned on her biggest supporter. Okay, so I thought we would end the video by doing a short segment kind of expressing my grievances with Amberlynn's latest vlog. I mean, we took a look at one on Sunday, right, on the live stream. And what I said in that video is that it seems like she is trying to cover up something, like something bad happened in her personal life. And instead of talking about that, which is her choice if she wants to do that or not, but you can just almost feel that energy from Amberlynn. And instead, she is choosing to deflect, like, look at these Legos. Look at all this stuff that I bought on Amazon or whatever. And that theme kind of continues to this video as well. I just feel like the vlogs have been so lackluster lately. Something's got to give. Amber lost her spark. I think that this happens quite a bit with her. Maybe she is struggling with something behind the scenes, and that kind of reflects in the camera. And I get that. But there are things that she could do to kind of spice things up a little bit. Like maybe go out and about, out and a boot. I would love to see a little TJ Maxx segment or something like that. We have so many iconic moments with Amber at the store. And I do think some of the luster was lost like post Becky era because we just really don't have any side characters anymore. And Chantal, like she's really got it with all of the side characters. People still talk about Natter and Dabby who were on a live stream kind of throwing shade at Foodie Beauty yesterday, now that I mention it. Pete's is pretty interesting. Even like Roman, and like S-Jam, like the other people, like the hanger-ons. There's so many people that are like foodie adjacent that is almost like its own community with like a ton of people. But Amber just doesn't have that. It's just her now. And that mixed in with whatever she's going through, I think is making it harder for her to create entertaining vlogs. I mean, this whole like WLS arc, I was really hoping that we were going to get somewhere with that. I do hope that she is still behind the scenes working on herself to eventually get approved for this WLS. Because realistically, 10 months when she's been fighting this for her whole life, it's not that long. And I do hope that she looks on that bright side. But during the video, not much happened. She did a what's in my purse, her P.O. box unboxings. She ordered a cup of ice from Sonic. Now, a lot of people were mentioning when it came to the cup of ice, I guess this is her new, like, remember last year when she ordered a $15 Diet Coke from McDonald's? I guess this is like that new one. But we wanted to see, you know, the corn dog she got. I'm just like making this up. I don't know what she actually got, but you know, she got a corn dog, a hamburger, French fries.
Oh my God.
I just wonder, and this is all part of like the cycle, right? She could turn around tomorrow and put up the most entertaining vlog of her career. Now, at the end of the video, Amber goes on a rant, like not understanding why people aren't enjoying her content these days. And she just says that people always have to find something to pick at. I just find that they have been like relatively low tier lately. I don't know what it is. It's something in the air of her videos. But on the flip side, there is a part of me that kind of enjoys this mundanity from Amberlynn because I don't know, there's something oddly comforting about her vlogs. And maybe it goes back to that situation with Foodie that we were talking about earlier, that we all grow and change and it just seems like everything stays the same. I mean, that's that one constant. You might be going through some really difficult changes right now in your life, but then you put on an Amberlynn vlog and it's like everything's the same. So there is some sort of comfort, odd comfort. Am I weird for that? Or do you guys see that as well? So what do you guys think? What do you think about the current state of Amberlynn's vlogs? Are you still watching? Do you find comfort? Maybe you just watch a reaction channel. I don't know. We had fun watching her video in the live stream, I'm not gonna lie. But what really happened during that video? Not much at all. All right, you guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And I will, of course, catch you guys in the next one. All right, bye, guys.